Good morning, good morning, good morning. Okay, I know you guys are like, what the heck is going on? Lauren started the show opener twice. You know what happened? I was sitting here and I realized I think I need to change the battery in my mouse. And so it was stuck on the screen. So I picked up the mouse, the arrow stayed where it was. And I was going to open the back of it to like lift the battery up and put it back in. Sometimes that works, and it did. And it turned off. It was hovering. The arrow was over the show anyway. That's so unfair when you get a senior moment before you were really even processing anything yet. I tell you what, but that's okay because I am going to make another thing famous. I've seen it all weekend at my sister's house with my nieces and nephews, young people, just as absent-minded as I am. So there is a thing called junior moments, and I'm going to coin that phrase starting yesterday. What day was yesterday? Okay. Anyway, welcome to the show. Lauren Michaels Harris with you, and you somehow, thank God, have found your way inside this episode of Bathrobe Moments. And yesterday, you heard me say when I signed up, I was like, "Oh my goodness, I don't have a guest for tomorrow. I'll probably just be here chatting for myself." And then a bunch of ravens showed up on my deck with notes on their legs saying, "Don't do it." So I went and found the next best thing, which is probably the greatest thing because I always love it when he's here. And got Nick Harris to come in today and kick it with us. I haven't talked to him since we started the quarantining and all of that. So, let me see. Anything going on? Hi, Wendy Meyer. Hi, everybody that's out there. Good to see you. It is Hump Day, Wednesday. We finally made it. Oh, I do want to tell you guys tonight's Bathrobe Moments After Dark, 7 p.m. Central, right here on Bathrobe Moments. I have a great guest. Her name is Jacqueline Seymour. She's an actress, a producer, a musician. She has a brand new single out with some musicians that are big time, but I don't know their names because if it's outside of the 80s with people like Whitney and Cindy Lauper and Hart and all of those people. Okay, John Cougar Mellencamp. Remember him? What happened to him? I know he took the Cougar out, so he's John Mellencamp. But anyway, I don't know any of the singers today. I don't even watch the award shows when they had them back. Remember when they used to have award shows? That's what we'll be saying. Um, I didn't recognize any of the other singers. I was like, who the hell? Right. And so, and plus they all stopped having like real people names. Now they're little Meek and Papa 5 6 and the Stray Dogs or something. I don't know. So anyway, I sound like my grandparents when we were listening to people like George Michael. Who? How can you have a name with two names in it? That's two first names. What kind of singer is he? That kind of stuff. So now I've turned and I have morphed into my grandparents. So there you go. Life on a platter. Anyway, so we are streaming live, as you see, because I turned everything off and nothing I can do about it because we're live on the following platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Roku, Android, Amazon Fire Stick, Apple TV, and of course our home base out in Phoenix, Arizona, E360 TV Live. And ah, watch my page. Today I'm gonna stop getting stuck getting guests 2 and 3 at a time. I'm gonna fill it up like the Bathroom Moments After Dark is booked all the way into October. That's once a week. It's different when you have 5 people in a week. So I'm about to put a post out, a plea, a call to action, if you will, today, looking for great guests. So get on the phone, let people know that their chance is coming right here on Bathroom Moments to spill the beans, spill the tea, share their story. And that's what we're all about here, sharing great stories and having a good time together while we do it. That's the bell of purpose, new to season 4. What it means is if our guest or one of you put something on the screen or our guest says something that's like, oh, wow, then I want to hit that bell. That's your chance to become a part of something greater than yourself. Hit the share button, send some hearts up, invite a friend, or start a watch party. All of them are free and none of them are painful, as far as I know. So you listen for the bell and let's share the good news with everyone we can, right? Nick Harris is here. How do I know? Because I heard his jet ski pull up just a minute ago. So is that him? Hi, Nick Harris. What did you do since we were in the green room? Now I can't hear you. He was fumbling around. Oh, I heard something. Oh, now we hear you.
Can you hear me okay now?
Yes. What were you trying to do?
Headphones,
Oh
so it
my
would
God.
sound
Hi, doggy in a muzzle.
better.
Wait, he's like,
She's
how are
got
you?
her, she's got that cape on because her ear swells up. So
Okay, and that's so
that
she
gets
doesn't mess with it.
right.
Oh my, you okay? Now, what if they put that on you? Well, we kind of do have that with those masks.
I
Same
wouldn't want to
sort
wear
of
that
thing.
thing. No
Yeah.
way.
So, Nick, you were hustling around, bustling around, trying to, I don't know what you were doing. You kill me. You kill me.
I was trying to change things the last second.
And then we could hear you. Now we hear you. How you been?
I've been good. Cannot complain. The complaints I want to make, we all kind of faced that same thing here the past couple months. So, other than the recent challenges in life, I've been good.
Okay, tell everybody who you are, where you're from, and I know you have a boatload of children, as my grandmother would say, children.
Correct.
Right. So tell us about all that. Catch us up.
So, well, I'm a divorced father of 5. I have my daughter, my 12-year-old daughter, and the other 4 live with their mom right now. I live in Kearney, Nebraska. Just a guy who likes to bring value to things around me. And how I met you, Loren, I haven't been as active in social media lately, been living more of life around me, kind of living present with the people around me. Whereas before I knew you, it was all online, and so just kind of finding that balance in life now. But yeah, it's about all I got. Ask me another question.
I will. Because the great way, how I'm gonna tell you, there's all kinds of processes when you're doing your research for your guests, right? So that you have an exciting and informative show. With you, all I have to do is go to your Facebook page and find all the things I want. So I want to ask you about something that I saw on your page dated July 6th. It looks like it was a post that you forwarded, or it was forwarded to your page from a guy named Kevin Hinkle. And in this post, I think it's a great way to start the day here. This is what you say. This is what the post says. They tell us the virus can't exist in the heat. They tell us there is an exponential spike in corona cases over the weekend in the 2 hottest states in the country, Florida and Texas. Which statement is not true? They want us to believe both? Question mark there. The lies will continue. Will you see them for what they are? Hashtag plandemic. Hashtag fake news. I was like, great, perfect. We'll start with that. What is the deal with that? And it's on your page, so I know it's true.
Right.
Right. So, are you? Where are you with this whole pandemic thing, Nick? Do you think it's a 5G? Do you think it's a plot to kill off all the old people or the sick people, to save money for the medical and insurance factions? What is there's 15 or 20 other theories. So,
Sure.
where do you stand?
Well, I believe there's a lot of conditioning being done in society right now and all around the globe. And if you look at really why things are kind of happening the way they are, I think it ties more directly to our financial system than it does our healthcare system, or the fact that it's a health issue or an actual virus. I really question what the news tells us, what you read about in the newspaper. I question the numbers, the testing.
You do?
All of that. I mean,
So, do you think there's more lies now than at the beginning? I mean, now that they started opening up communities, and they're like, "Oh, backtracking too soon, too soon." Danger, Will Robinson, danger. And then all of a sudden now things are spiking. But I had a feeling it was too soon.
yeah, well, I don't claim to know what's actually going on. I use critical thinking, and I like to question things. And I would say I'm one that, Loren, I question whether there's even a virus, or
Oh,
if
there's a virus.
changing a common cold and then just changing the name and then just testing everybody for it. If you think of it this way, if you have to slow down the system, if you needed this system to slow down, here in America, as well as I do, people like money, people like to play, people like their guns, people like their freedom.
Yes.
So they claim. America's a really free country compared to others around the world, but you don't get your freedom from other people, first of all. But I would say it was going to be very difficult if you needed to slow down the system, do some kind of reboot, make some changes, do something. You have to keep people in their home. Well, you got to create a fear, a pandemic, because you're definitely not going to be able to just give an order and then tell people to stay home.
Mm-hmm.
And not to go to work and not to open their business and put their whole life at risk. So, hell, even if it is installing 5G, there was a lot of talk about protesting and a bunch of things done against 5G long before the coronavirus hit the news.
True.
And you didn't hear much about that in the news either. When I was working with Verizon, and we got the letters passed down talking about they had safety plans in place for the protests that were about to happen. Like, we were pre-planned on some of this stuff, but it wasn't Corona. It was for the 5G towers. And there's a whole slew of reasons why people question 5G. I'm not smart enough to talk about that.
Okay. Well, when did that happen? When you guys get the letters and stuff?
January or February this year.
Really?
Yeah.
They expected protests.
Maybe it rolled out
5G towers?
October, November, kind of, and then it kind of came into January.
Well, that's awfully suspicious.
Right. And I haven't seen a protest of 5G anywhere in the country. At least the news doesn't put it on. We have protests going on, but it's not 5G. Loren, here's the thing. I just do not believe that a face mask is going to protect you. And then you have so many different things stated by all these people.
They wore face masks 100 years ago when they had the pandemic. They were all in masks too.
Sure. Yeah.
Right. I mean, if it's airborne, when people are, spewing stuff out of their mouth, at least that way it knocks it back and it's not coming directly in my face as I walk past them.
Right.
So I see that. And it's the same reason in operating rooms. To me, that's what I think.
So I think the masks in operating rooms are more so they're not putting it out. Well, right. I get what you're saying.
It's all about keeping something
contained.
Contained, right? So okay, let me ask you this. Oh, and Tea Leaf, we saw what she said. She goes, it's like the snowball effect with the lies. And good morning to D-Ball from Southwest Michigan. How are you? Tea Leaf has got a whole bunch to say this morning. So she goes, also, #facts you don't get freedom from other people. And also, 5G messes with the body biology. Now, that I do know.
It does.
Is in fact true. Yes, it is. It does. Absolutely. So let's talk about some of the things that we've seen happen. Let's just go down there. Because isn't it interesting how it's really not that much time since this started? It really isn't. If you had some kind of life event right during or at the front end of COVID, in our family, my sister's husband took his own life. And so that's the marker. And then COVID showed up 2 weeks later because we were all at the funeral. Everything was, hunky-dory. And suddenly we can't get to each other anymore. And so we have that reference point. So it doesn't seem that long ago to us. 5 months, I think, pretty much from start to now. And so we've seen the toilet paper and hand sanitizer and Lysol debacle, the Russian panic for that. Yes, I was in the grocery store parking lot at 5 a.m. one day to get the toilet paper that we're still using. Thank you very much. I'm not kidding. I haven't bought it since that day. I went in and out of the store 3 times. I
There you go.
changed my shirt once in case they were it's because they wouldn't catch on. Excuse me. So there was that. Then there was one time in this house where I saw something on Facebook where the guy said put all this citrus fruit peels in water with salt. And then Brian and I would stand over it every time we come in from outside. This is at the very beginning, and breathe in then we'd be like, oh, it hurts, it burns. Oh my God, I stitched my nostril. Then we learned how to lift back. So we did that for about 2 or 3 weeks because it was supposed to kill the virus. And so, here we are. We look back and I see all those things, but at the time, Nick, they seemed rational enough, And did you have anything? Come on now. I know you're a right here kind of guy, like, sir, I can see this. This is the conversation with you. I'm just making this up, but I can see the conversation with you and, okay, Publishers Clearinghouse. You open your door, there they are with all those balloons, the prize patrol, and a giant check for $10 million. And I can see you reacting with, huh, sweet. Thanks, man. Want some water or something?
I would question it at first. I'm like, I would be asking him for all his credentials. I would take the check.
Moral of that is Nick Harris is not very excitable. So, tell me about that moment, because you have 5 children.
Mm-hmm.
So for no other reason, were you concerned for their safety? And if so, we'll talk about that, but then tell us about that. What was your most moment about the whole COVID thing before you started processing and saying, bullshit? Come on now.
Sure.
We've all had that moment. What was yours?
Okay.
I
didn't have a single second of buy-in on the coronavirus. Matter of fact, this is just my opinions, and I don't compare it to other people's. Okay, this is my world. This is how I perceive.
We know that. It's Nick Harris's universe. We just in there visiting.
Yes, no. I'm in your universe right now, but I mean, COVID-19. Just the name sounds like an operation. COVID-19.
It sure does.
It sounds like a damn operation. The numbers. Have you had analysts that were ahead of the game of numbers? They're breaking it all down, projections, all this. How do you do that with no testing? How the hell do you even know?
Well, do you remember at the beginning how you could be on Facebook and you'd see all these doctors and different people? And one guy was reading a thing where there was what do you call it? When you patent something, there was a patent or something. He was a trademark. Sure. He was reading it where it was for the vaccine, and it was years ago.
Yeah. Well, Bill Gates is involved with that.
Oh, that was another one of the theories. That, don't say nothing about Bill and Melissa Gates. I love him. Don't you dare say nothing about Bill Gates. I'm kidding. But somebody somewhere is doing that. Ain't it a shame what they're doing? Hanging Bill Gates on the cross after all that man has done. But history dictates that extremely wealthy people are back behind the curtain pulling all the levers.
I mean, of course, absolutely. But let me add a twist to this, okay? So what?
Bird?
Yes, I have birds tripping over there. They're
okay, see, they're putting it.
When I talk, they want to talk over me.
Well, we must have said something that they know about. You hear they were like, "Oh, Bill Gates," like Damien Thorne and the Crows. Remember Damien Thorne, the Antichrist? Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Tea Leaf says Nick's universe theory has truth, though. Listen.
Thank you.
Okay, keep going. Go ahead. Put it on us, Nick.
So what if all the things that's happened the past couple of months? I don't believe that it's all the changes that are kind of coming are a bad thing. There was a lot of things broken that needed fixed. Now I'm not one that begs usually government to regulate more, or I went through a stage where I was kind of an anarchist. I went through an anarchy stage in life, right? Same thing compared to religion. This was years ago. Grew up Catholic. It didn't align with me. I broke away from it. I went to atheism. Along with going to atheism, I went to anti-government. So I was like studying shadow governments and all this other stuff. And I kind of mixed the two together, and
Oh, who is that?
that's my daughter.
Hi, that's the 12-year-old.
Bianca, yeah.
Oh, hi, Bianca. Say hello to the entire world.
Yeah.
Yeah, your dad just put you out there.
I don't think she knew I was on. She wouldn't have. She's camera shy. She's the one I tried to get on that kids show with you.
Yes, when we were doing the COVID thing with kids all across. Yeah, she'll be on the deal. I'm gonna get you yet, Bianca. You can run, but you can't hide, girl. So what was it? So go ahead, finish what you were saying.
So I don't think a reset was kind of a bad. I don't think it was necessarily a bad thing. And if you had like Ryan Stewman posted a while back that the Federal Reserve's getting shut down, Treasury Department's taking back control of our money. If that's actually true, you have to change a lot of things. You have to slow things down. You have to really squeeze, kind of pinch the cash flow to make some things change.
Yeah.
So you got to keep people in home. Well, I tell you what, lying to people that there's a virus is a lot more effective and safer way than.
Hey, that's the second time you've said that.
In their house, so we can do this.
Or that's the second time you've said that.
What's that?
That's the second time. Is that who's that? Now you got a gerbil or something? Okay, we got a dog and we got okay. I'm keeping track, Dr. Doolittle.
Animals, you find everything around here.
Right. So listen, that's the second time you said about lying to us about this virus. But wait a minute, I had a kid on a show, Jordan from New Jersey, who watched 4 people in his family had it. The only one that lived was the grandmother. So 2 aunts and an uncle all died. And they all were at the same anniversary party or family party prior to, us knowing what was going on. And they all died from COVID. So, I mean, I actually know people who are positive right now. I know people, a couple that have actually died from it that I know. And I know a bunch of people who have had family members. I have had people on the screen that 10 people on the screen. Anybody here know anybody that is currently positive with the COVID-19 virus and alive? Every hand went up. How many of you know someone who died from COVID-19 in the last few months? Over half of the hands went up. That was 4 weeks ago.
So we have.
So how is it a lie?
I mean, so there's a lot of things to consider. What's
it going to take, Nick? Somebody you know or love to die with it?
So in Kearney, Nebraska, where I live, we have a town. We're about 35,000 here. We have a University of Kearney, Nebraska at Kearney. Hour and a half down the interstate from Lincoln, which is our capital, and 2.5 hours from Omaha. But 45 minutes down the street was the number 2 highest corona rates in the entire nation during the time. 45 minutes from where I live. The second highest amount of corona rates in the nation.
Okay.
I went into this town for work. I never wore a mask, touched everything, went to there was regular things happening. The town's pretty much shut down, but there's a lot of regular things happening. I had to go to the city offices, to the utility offices, deliver some product, get some orders. And those guys were all just kind of shut down. But here's the thing, highest rates in the United States, second highest in the nation. And I couldn't find a single person that knew anybody with the coronavirus. Not anybody. We're in small towns. This is the second highest in the nation. And I couldn't find anybody that knew somebody that
okay, I get that. I get that. But what about the people? But then I, through this show, have met people. What do you say? So what about the people who said, yep, my aunt just died. She went in the hospital.
I believe they're being told that they have it. 100%.
But the symptoms, I have family members that are in the medical field that are ER and ICU nurses and things like that. And I had a special with the COVID nurses, and you should have heard their stories about person after person after person after person that they sit there and hold their hands on a 12-hour shift, 7 to 8 different people that die. And they're the only person there because no one can come in. They keep calling us heroes. We don't feel like heroes when we're driving home after holding 7 different hands of people that died with no one that they knew loved them there. And their stories were just riveting. You know,
So what if what if I'm absolutely 100% wrong? Coronavirus exists, and what's the goal of the fear mongering and the pandemic mongering? Like, we've been living amongst germs and viruses and diseases. Humanity's been alive. So let's look at the bigger picture. If that is really true, why are we conditioning everybody to fear it and wear masks? Let's be honest. We have natural immunity. Our bodies adapt to its environments.
well,
Our bodies are amazing.
well, that's true.
Godlike energy.
Right. Because it's not, our bodies are amazing. And I know because I'm high risk. I'm in that category. You know, I have COPD. So, and I know I have to be careful. You know, I've been wearing a mask since I was a kid in the summer months and things like that because I just breathe. And there are people with you know, compromised immune systems and whatnot that really cannot risk something like this. So, I mean, yeah, you're healthy. You speak from that point. But what about those others? That, you know, the elderly, the infirm, diabetes, high blood pressure, on and on and on. For instance, well, Tea Leaf says the COVID and the corona are not the same. COVID and corona have been out way before it was adverted. It's advertised. It's not that it's fake, just not the real issue. Now there's a great way of putting it. Oh, she ain't finished. There are also people dying from heart attacks and their death. Certified COVID, like it's a cover up to make it sound worse. Now I have heard that. I have heard that people are dying, whatever they die of, they'll stick COVID on it.
Of course.
Just to help the cause. Now do I feel, let me just say, do I feel that it is an innate thing that I can't prove, that there's some you know, Mr. Wizard behind the curtain, you know, doing some things? Okay, with who we have as president, number one, and his you know, I don't get me started. Do I think that's what? Absolutely. And with and it's an election year, you know, no one that comes in every now and again on the tail end of a theory. And don't forget, it is an election year. So that means, oh yeah, when you throw that on there, anything seems possible.
That's true.
You know, history tells us, we have the stories to prove it. But anyway, I mean, I like what Tea Leaf said when she goes that there is something out there, but there also is also you have to, you know, you have to separate how much of this do you think the fear mongering and stuff, Nick, is because people you have to monitor your intake, because that's how it gets out of hand. You know, we watch the news only at 10 o'clock and only the first few minutes of it, because it's the end of the day and they lead with top stories. Just because if you sat there all day, or you came and you sat around your family table and everybody was talking about all the different things they saw on social media or the internet or the news or whatever, nobody would have an appetite. Everybody would want to go and hang themselves.
It's true.
So, so what do you feel like some of this is true? But as far as the virus,
I believe when you plant seeds in humans' minds and get enough people to believe it, you can literally manifest it into being in the physical form.
Well,
the fear-mongering, the pushing, and the conditioning, like they've done it through the education system for a long time. Planted seeds, let them and grew them. They were watering their plants, and the kids, the youth, were the little seeds they planted, and then they grow them their way. And to be a conditioned society as a whole. So not everybody's using critical thinking. You know, we're being conditioned as well. You look up Agenda 20, United Nations Agenda 21, and then it talks about the American land takeover.
Agenda 21.
United Nations Agenda 21. Over the years, if you can put everything they've done together, you talk about a president, I would say that it doesn't matter who our president is.
You think it's even further than that?
Every single president, Republican, Democrat, flip-flop, doesn't matter. The agendas tie together. Everything they're doing ties together. Generational too. They generationally. Look, my parents. We grew up in an age where they were assholes. We got spankings. We got belts and twitches. You go to jail for that now.
Right.
Like there's evolutionary shifts, and in order to do that, it's incremental conditioning. The mask is a mind control device.
It is
Teaching
because you
you
see it.
fear
You
and
right.
to react, and that you have no power, and that your mind is not strong enough to overcome any virus or germ that enters it, and that your body's not smart enough to be able to take care of that. Our bodies know how to do that until we condition it not to know how to do that and be dependent on external things like vaccines, medications, drugs, alcohol, whatever the hell it is, to try to fill what we lack within us because we don't know what we even are.
Well, this is
How our
true.
bodies work. I don't, in the grand scheme of things, I shut off your damn TV. Stay in tune with yourself, live out of fear. You won't get the damn virus. As a matter of fact, you live a happy life.
And I agree.
I challenge you.
I agree with that. I totally 100% agree with that because that's what we've been doing. Just like I have to, I can tell when it's affecting who.
Sure.
And it's like, and I just don't feel that. I really rely on the I, not the I me, the I words, the I things inside, insight, instinct, everything that is a feeling that because it starts inside before any outside things can get to it. It's protected in there, and so I innately, that's all those I words direct us to where if you don't feel it there on your own, raise an eyebrow of suspicion. That's control from somewhere else. Right. And that's what I truly, truly believe. Now, I have been admonished, duly so. Oh, wait a minute. Not that one. Where is it? Tea leaf. Tea leaf sale. Here. You're a super fan. Please let Nick finish his theory. Please. 2 pleases in 9 words. Please. Just listen to him. So, and she told me ring the bell. I rang it. And now she goes, people need to hear his theory. Educate outside the box of thinking. That was Alexa. She talks on her own now. Why? Because I have her programmed to give me COVID reminders. Get up and stretch. Go for a walk. It's time to start. Now I'm like glued to my screen all day long working. She also says people. Oh, I said that one already. Here's one. Anna, religion forces the suspension of logic for belief. Because of this, an awful lot of people are unable to use logic. And sorry, but prayers and no TV don't stop a virus. Wow. What do you say, Nick?
Religion forces a suspension of logic for belief. I agree with that. I agree with the second sentence. And the third one, so So she's saying prayers don't stop a virus.
Right. And no TV. Right. Turning off the TV doesn't stop it. So
let's break down prayers on a deeper level, though. Most people pray because they're seeking, they're asking for what they lack, which is keeping them in the state of the vibrational state of lacking. So they're creating their own
scarcity mindset. Is that the same thing? Is that the same thing as a scarcity mindset?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
So when I pray, like thanking God for the good health I have.
Right.
The good health that I possess. Thank God that I'm never going to get some virus that is going to just break me down. I'm not going to believe what I'm being told. I'm going to believe what I'm telling myself.
Right.
I'm this reality. Nobody else.
I'm that way.
And so seriously, like, you make the choice. So you don't have to fear something. Your body's going to do the work for you. We're made up of 50 trillion cells, a community, a collective that fight for each other. Like we're always evolving. Like we need to introduce to germs and viruses so we can build and get stronger.
That's true.
Fast in life so we can create life.
And the thing is, there's stuff around us every day that we're making it through that we don't even know about.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? If that weren't true, it wouldn't constantly be discovering stuff. Mm-hmm. Just because you saw it on April 12th doesn't mean it showed up on April 12th. Could have been here for a zillion April 12ths.
Right.
It just now was time for whatever to be, seen, learned. Somebody wants to know. Donna wants to know, what kind of bird do you have? There's a rescue gray, an African gray. Donna, we used to have an African gray back in the day. He could talk.
These guys could. 3 parakeets. 3 parakeets.
Okay, 3 of them.
Yeah.
Woof. What colors are they? Green,
blue, yellow, and white.
Wow. Okay.
We had a green one. I had 4, but the green one passed away, unfortunately.
Okay. Uh-oh. Donna also says power of positive thoughts work. Praying a football team wins doesn't. Oh, LOL. Yes, we can manifest. I hear you. We've got some more things up on the screen that we're going to talk about when we come back from this short but informative break. So you can have a word from my sponsor. Don't go away. We'll be right back with Nick Harris. I want to welcome you back to the show. Hi, everybody. It's me, Loren Michaels Harris, your host of Bathrobe Moments. My guest today is Nick Harris. Before we get back into it, I want to say thank you and hats off to Nikki's of Naperville and the Emperor's Medicine, both of my sponsors for the months of July. And Emperor's Medicine, located right here in Naperville, acupuncture and all kinds of great things going on there, holistic medicine, and also Nikki's of Naperville, a family-owned Greek restaurant where they are some of the greatest people around. Every time there is a Power of We symposium, they are the first ones in line to help our kids get to this great event servicing inner city children. So thanks to both of my sponsors for the day. So Nick Harris, here we are. Let's get back to these comments and stuff. These girls aren't playing around. Here's tea leaves. And again, she goes, okay, if enough people are on the same level of intent to manifest something, yes, changes happen. Prayer work does work, but the issue is the intent while praying. Ringing on that one. Not watching TV stops the fear implants, which gives you freedom to have your own thoughts, and probably instead of programmed thoughts. That's what I'm thinking she meant.
I mean, we're always going to have, we're molded from children. So, from what I've been hearing this more recently, the most important years of your life to mold a human are the first, 7 or 8 years, something like that. That doesn't make you who you are, but like that, a lot of that stays at a core level, stays with us and kind of molds us for our future.
And just so you know, she says, I see it in the thread. She goes, she meant freedom to have your own thoughts, not programmed thoughts.
Right.
Which is easier to understand. So that makes sense. And Donna says yes, she agrees. I'll say so. What you think matters, as thoughts are things, energy. So if you keep putting trash thoughts in the universe, then there's more of the same stuff. And I believe that. I mean, and excuse me, Nick, that's a good point. Let's change gears a little bit here, just a little bit, because there are so many of us who are in the world in different ways. What you do, Nick, to change lives and impact lives is totally different than what I do. And nonetheless, we see each other as coming, as being cut from the same cloth, if you will, the same objective. You understand? Yes. However, dude, how do you feel about this day and time that we're living in? To me, it's like where the rubber meets the road. Put up or shut up, the kind of thing. And I noticed it right away with people that, big events and this and the other, and buy my program and this and the other. And here's my mastermind. They come on my retreat for $8,000 and this and the other. And then all of a sudden they disappeared, scared as the next person. Why weren't you using all those things you've been talking about?
So what's amazing to me, when how active I was with doing Facebook Lives and with social media for the past 4 years.
Why did it mean you, Nick?
This year I've been super quiet, I've been living more life around me. Kind of, I don't know. I feel like life's getting a little more serious, and my
Because of the
people,
virus, or because of what people are turning into as a result of going through this thing.
So I think that all the work that I personally have been doing when I set out to live a certain way, fall into my purpose more than just live in an old preconditioned way of life that I was taught as a child. I think it's a calling now more than ever for the healers to come out and do the work, but to not make this, what's up, Frank? Not make it about how rich you can get off. Like truly make it about the difference you can make in other people's lives and help and mold our future. Our society is fragile right now. We're being, I don't know. Trump went out to Rapid City. Rapid City is an old home of mine. I lived there for 3 years, and I just watched on Facebook Live, and all of a sudden they had this highway blocked off, and you had the National Guard coming in on the protest. There was like 5 or 6 protesters, but they had 2 vans blocking off the highway. And it just kind of tugs at your heart of what we're seeing right now. Military being used on American soil. Granted, for the first time in my life, since I told you I went back and started questioning and governments and all this stuff, I came back on. I find balance is very key, right? What I saw was the National Guard act humanely, responsibly. They were just cleaning up what they had to clean up because 14,000 people had to get through there. I don't. You turn on and you go to watch the extremists on the right. They want to go knock people's door down with AR-15s and just go hold it, like be obnoxious. Like you got the other side, the extremists on in law enforcement or wherever, and then they want to just be bullies. Well, in the middle is most humans. Like these people are rare. Like we are the many. Like we're letting the two, and I use this word not in talking about like race, but two minorities, the law enforcement or the government.
I was just gonna go there.
They're the ones pulling the damn strings. Well, we are all in the middle letting it happen. When we have the power to bring forth awareness in our communities, starting locally, to bring the change and help mold the future in the right way with the changes that are coming. But it's not, our crisis isn't over. Like
no,
financial
not
system,
by a long shot.
That's just starting. Like the suspended of the bill payments, like where's these debts going? Where are these people just magically going to come up with money that they could never come up with the rest of their life before?
Well, and that's true.
Become brilliant overnight, and then like, oh, I'm Elon Musk tomorrow. Here's my millions of dollars. Like, it's not how this works.
Well, here's a couple things. First of all, tea leaves will not let this thing go about your theory. So now I'm like, okay, obviously there's some Nick theory that you've been going live, I'm assuming. I doubt if you sent out individual ravens to everyone. So I'm assuming you did it through social media, even though you've gone dark a little bit, so you said, but obviously not completely dark. So what is it that Tea Leaves is continually pushing a button to hear more of? What is this Nick Harris theory? Because you said if he doesn't finish it here, get in there and look him up. What does she mean with that, Nick? What does she mean?
That's a good question. I mean, maybe she's noticing just kind of.
Well, do you have a theory?
I do, but it's not.
And does it? Let me ask you this.
Buddha said, question everything. Use critical thinking. Be willing to stand opposite of the majority.
Oh, she says, oh, so Tea Leaves, you're a friend with me? She goes, no lies, LOL. She just knows. Oh, okay. So,
right.
Oh, Donna says that this has been used on my indigenous people for 400 years. Oh, Frank says you're looking like a disciple. Yes, Frank, don't let the highlights fool you. That's a highlighted beard. He went and got the little foil things put in. I already know. I know a highlighted beard when I see one. I'm kidding. But listen, you mentioned minorities and whatnot. Talk about this. So is it just, is this part of the same big, I wanted to say cesspool.
I mean, yes,
pouring that in there, like, oh, now, Because what do people do? When all of a sudden, in droves, we watch all over the country, all over the world, people saying, screw social distancing. Okay, we'll wear masks. Maybe I won't, but I'm going to go and I'm going to march. And I'm going to be there up close and personal with all these people. Oh, Lord, now the spike is going to go up. But I haven't heard them say that there's a spike in numbers because of the protests as much as I've heard them talk about spikes in numbers because of Memorial Day weekend. So that got me confused. So what do you think about all this George Floyd stuff, and not just George Floyd, but the kickoff of, the social, right? You know where I'm asking. So is it a part of it? Are they two separate things? What?
Most people would call me a conspiracy theorist. I would call myself a critical thinker. And I call bullshit on a lot. I call BS on so many things. First of all, I'm going to take you back in time to 2001. That was a lie. Now, yes, the towers fell, but your entire storyline was a friggin' lie. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
They even can't have admitted it. Then you go to Sandy Hook. Sandy Hook was shut down for 2.5 years. If you look up a fellow named Wolfgang Halberger, Wolfgang, I forgot his last name, just Wolfgang, and then Sandy Hook. He was a former law enforcement investigator, and he did some work into this. Mm-hmm. And he had, he'll tell you in his story, he had 2 federal agents at his door telling him to shut up. But Sandy Hook did not happen. But why did our government tell us that these kids were killed in this school? Why would they tell us that? That's sick, right? Humans can't wrap their heads around that because that is so sick why somebody would do that. But they did that. They did that. Why would they do that? That's the next level. Why? Why is very important to know, right? Like, if you don't know your why, you're not going to get very far. Mm-hmm. So why would they do this? Well, what follows? It's black flag operations in the history of governments. You got to create the problem to implement a solution. To gain more control, you got to have a problem. You have to have these events to be able to implement legislation, to be able to take your freedoms away, your constitutional rights away, like your Second Amendment. They're just pressing down on more legislation. You have to have problems to be able to do that. It's not hard to understand. The corona, that may be a virus. It doesn't matter. There's bigger issues. Or the issues, there's more reasons why this is all happening. Mm-hmm. That the common man isn't understanding or even taking a look at. There's a lot of, I think it's more financial. Like I said, I think it has to do with more financial, a reset of the kind of financial system. China's in play here. But again, I don't claim to be an expert. I just.
Donna, she's like tea leaf. Donna's not going to bite her tongue. And so she's like, what the hell? Sandy Hook didn't happen. Wow. So Donna, what are you saying? Are you like surprised that it didn't happen? Or are you like, Nick, come on now, for real? Which one of those, Donna? That's going to help us know where to go with this. But Nick, that's not the first time that I have heard that Sandy Hook did not happen. I've heard that before. I think I heard it on Awaken Atlanta with my good friend Tim Ray talking about that, and he had some kind of expert there.
There's a silver lining to all this.
Okay, let's hear it. We love to end on
no innocent kids were murdered at Sandy Hook.
Were any kids murdered there?
No, the school had been closed down for 2 years. Nobody could go in the funeral or out. Why would that be? If that was really the case, wouldn't you have a community service? Like, wouldn't you have, like, come on, like, Wolfgang Halberg checked into this. He investigated the people that were supposedly a part of it. You can Google it.
But how do they do that with an entire town's name on it? Somebody there, Aunt Rita, is going to call Mildred all the way across the country and say, girl, that was a lie. How did they keep people from contacting the Washington Post? Or
you buy people off.
What?
You buy people. You're talking about
an entire town?
You're talking about the strongest military government in the world.
But
you're talking
no matter what. Don't you, Nick, what if you lived in that town and they tried to come and do that to you or get you to buy you off? Would you? Would you be silenced by money?
How honest do you think biker gangs are?
How what?
How honest do you think biker gangs are, like the Hells Angels?
I don't know. I'm like,
They,
don't get me beat up.
the Hell's Angels were formed. They formed lines around the funeral services. The schools, you couldn't get in the schools. Nobody could get in the school. Nobody could get in the funerals. They brought the Hell's Angels in to block the community out from seeing anything. Again, Wolfgang breaks all this down. Like, it's crystal clear. It really, truly is. So that, back in the day, made me start questioning everything. And then I started doing some studying and, talking with some brilliant people, and then just like networking up, and then talking to people that are smarter than me, and it just kind of different things would come to me, and I could feel what was right, what felt like truth in the center of my being, versus feeling that things are being forced into me. Like, I don't know if that makes sense, but
well, read what's on the screen.
I did a reading for a little boy that passes in the Sandy Hook shooting.
And she corrected it and said pass.
Everybody has a story that I may be wrong. Everybody has this is a very small world. The fact that we have 8 viewers, 1 out of 8 of them knows somebody at Sandy Hook. The fact that Sandy Hook was even getting brought up today, it blows my mind, right? So I just say investigate. Do your own investigation.
Right. Don't be so quick.
Right with you, you'll know your truth. And ultimately, it doesn't matter what I believe, to be honest. I'm here to bring value to people's lives. That's my goal. That's my intention.
Amen. And you know what I love? This is what has to happen. I didn't say need, should. I said has to. There are no other choices for change and for enlightenment and for the awakening to be able to do what it is designed to do. See, I don't know if you guys noticed, but and let me just take time to explain this. Maybe that's what I need to do. I'm constantly showing this. Look at this. And what was the connector in all those different brands is when I had a special a few weeks ago about generational healing, 5 people. I had 5 males, and then I just did a follow-up a few weeks ago with 5 female, talking about the healing. What do you want your future family members to be saying about you and what kind of person you were in this time? Because by then, a whole bunch of shit is going to be exposed, and it's going to show the true colors of people. What will they be saying about you? But conversation was the connector through there. Now, that was weeks ago, but I still show it. I opened the show today, putting it inside of the promos, because the conversation. If we don't talk about it, we'll talk out here. We'll all have a different conversation going on in here. And that's how they do it.
Yep. If we all think the same way, say the same things, how are we ever going to grow and expand? The law of clarity. You gotta have the good and the bad, the yin and the yang. However you want to word it, you have
all of it.
So if you can appreciate the contrast, if you could be able to listen to people with an open mind, just hear their side. They may be wrong, but the more open you are, the more truth is going to find you.
That's true. That's true. And I want everybody to understand this. This is the thing with Bathrobe Moments. It is our goal here is to try to provide a safe space. And I'm so grateful to all of you that watch, the viewers, and you, Nick, and all of the people that come on and share their stories. And I invite all of you, if you want to come on and sit in the chair where Nick is now, and speak from where you live. That's what we want. That's what we need. So let me know. I'm putting a promo up today, inviting people to come on and just talk. Just talk. You don't have to be some big influencer. You don't have to be some television star. You just need to be somebody that has their own reason for their own truths. That's what I want to do, because I can learn. And that's how we peel off the cataracts that have been conditioned over our third eye by all kinds of different forces. And I really, truly believe that. And I want to thank everybody for everything that they've contributed here today and every day. And I want you to think about this. History proves that we've never known all of the truth while we were inside of something. There's always those after things that we go, well, in retrospect, well, now looking back on it, And it's always crystal clear then. We can't always wait until decades later to be crystal clear. I think the awakening is so that we can see, because the truth never changes.
Right.
It is the only thing in the universe that will never change, and it is the only thing that will never change on us. So it's always there in its fullness. We just have to find it. Nick?
Yes, and I think it's important to understand that our own thoughts, the way we talk to ourselves, the way we talk to others, doesn't just affect us with a little world around us. It's feeding the collective.
Yeah.
I believe we're all extensions of God, and we don't just receive, we feed. So what we're feeding is impacting the world around us as well. Everything you do creates a ripple around you.
That's right. Ripple effect, domino effect, boomerang effect, all of those effects. Those are laws.
Yes. It's important to understand that you have that power, that you are that power, and that you can make the difference. And it doesn't matter what it looks like to other people. If you're making that positive ripple, if you can stand out. And an awakening isn't always pleasant. You're going to experience pain. Truth hurts sometimes.
Mm-hmm. That's right. But
it's not true. We need to stop comforting lies, or stop being comfortable in lies, and start opening ourselves up to experiencing the pain of some truths that we've been
lies are never comfortable. Lies, it's impossible for a lie to be comfortable unless you subscribe to the mindset of bending the truth, little white lies. If you have a reason and out for anything other than the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God, that's when you fall into those genres. So we're out of time, unfortunately, but I do want to say this. 4 words that came out of your mouth that I don't want anyone here. If you forget everything else and your mind goes mute on everything you've heard here today, don't forget these words. You are that power. It's true. You are that power because you are truth. It's true that you're here. It's true that you made it here. We all beat the greatest odds known to man, 1 in 400 quadrillion, just to be sitting here with a heartbeat. It's not about beating odds, people. It's about doing things that create the odds. Change them. If you don't like something, change it. So, Nick, thank you so much. I knew it was going to be great. Please come back again soon. Let us know what's going on. And everybody out there, come on now. Get aboard. Get in here and do what Nick did. It doesn't hurt. It's not painful. He's not bleeding that I can see. And let's have that conversation, shall we? I'll be back tomorrow. Nick, you need to show up tomorrow, all of you. I have a woman that recruited me to change things in Congress years ago for foster care. Her name is Maureen Flatley, known as Mo Flatley on Capitol Hill. She's responsible for over 25 bills being passed that protect our children in this country. And I couldn't believe I got her to come on the show. She's turned down big shows like Dateline and everything. But I'm working with her now on something special, and she's coming here tomorrow. We're going to be talking about a lot of stuff. So if you want to hear what's going on Capitol Hill about all this, come tomorrow. You don't want to miss it. Maureen Flatley's in the house. Thank you, guys. Have a blessed day.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.